Hi everyone, Ann Butler here. I am back for another live. Lisa is not feeling well today, so she is not with us. But I do have a very special guest, and a lot of you will know who she is, although you may not know her. But then a lot of you are going to know her too. So I'm going to bring in Paulette Jarvey.
Hello.
There she is. For the people that may not know who you are,
Okay.
they will know your products. So why don't you give us a little background about how you started in this industry?
Okay. Well, this is our 45th year in business because you see, I was 3 when we started. And
I know.
and when I did the first book, we started out as book publisher. It was a book that I designed. It was called You Can Dough It, out of dough art. And we wanted to have a name of the company that would be not about Paulette or about dough art, but something that could be bigger and more expansive. And so actually my husband came up with Hot Off the Press, and that's how we launched with that very first 96-page book on dough art. And
Wow, 96 pages.
96 pages, yeah. And it was all self-published. My husband took the step-by-step photos because that had not been done in crafts before then, and on our dining room table, and developed them in the bathroom. Very, very high tech. This is before computers, folks.
Wait, wait. Remember the negatives, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, the type was done by a woman in Washington State, and it came in a long strip and we put melted wax on the back of it to put it on the pages to go to the printer. So it was, it was much more laborious than typing on a computer.
Yeah.
That was the first one, and it sold really well. And so we did another one. Let's do it again, and then we went into different kinds of crafts. So, and throughout the whole time, there have been opportunities that have come. And each time the decision was, do we do that instead of what we're doing? Or do we leap into this? And always the answer was, let's do it all. And
yeah, I know.
because when fabric painting started, the Tulip Company contacted us to do books of fabric painting, so iron-on transfers, and we did tons of those that coordinated with their products. And again, the decision was, do we keep doing soft crafts or do we only do fabric painting? And we did both. And that's something as a business person to look for opportunities and to grab them, even if you're not sure.
Yes. So
Yeah.
true.
Same thing with scrapbooking. I was approached by the woman who actually started making memories, and she had some scrapbook pages, and we had been working with Fiskars. They wanted some books to sell their pattern edge scissors because they knew their scissors were selling like crazy, but they didn't know why. So they asked us to do some books. And when this woman approached me with these, I said, this is great. And we ended up, as you know, it changed the world for all of us in the industry.
Right.
So that was, again, another step. And we decided to go in hard into scrapbooking. At that point, we were the only ones who were doing papers. And we launched with Snip Your Snapshots was the first book. Snip Your Snapshots and Trim Your Treasures, the longest title in the world. And normally then, if you had a good book, it would sell like 10,000 copies in a year. We sold 50,000 in 6 months with no advertising.
Oh
and
my.
yeah, and it was like, okay, this is something we need to pay attention to it. And we decided to do books of papers because then they would be coordinated all together.
Mm-hmm.
And we approached Michaels, and Michaels said they would take them, and they did an end cap. with a rack that we designed, and it blew up beautifully.
As you would say, yes.
And actually, because of a contact within the industry, we were able to get the Disney license, and that was huge for us, huge for Michael's too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these things come up. Sometimes they're just little things, like this lady bringing all these stacks of scrapbook pages to me, um, and you know, to take those opportunities. So we have.
It's true. I mean, and having your papers are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, they're perfectly coordinated. They're, they're the kind of papers that everybody just drools over. And I remember, like, many, many years ago, I did have a store. It was at the same time when I was a marketing director for a shopping mall. So I had a store in the mall.
Okay.
And I bought your Sarah books.
Uh-huh.
And I taught classes on them. I bought a lot of your stuff for the store. And I was in love with them then.
Yeah.
So.
And I think for us anyway, we don't have one look.
Mm-hmm.
We really pride ourselves on having a lot of different looks, and by changing as people change, and that's been important to us. And we do a new launch of items every month, both for our paper collections and then also for our two cutting die collections, Fabulous Folded, Delightful Dimensionals. So we do a little over 100 new items every year.
That is amazing. I mean, you started out just in publishing, and yes, you just took advantage of every opportunity that came your way.
Exactly.
Right? Because this industry, I always say 99.9% of the people are so giving and loving. There's that little tiny,
yeah,
everybody is willing to share and help.
It was kind of easier to do that before because the shows were bigger and everyone was there, and you really could network. It's harder now because you don't see everybody. But what's been really wonderful is we continue to innovate, and we've done something with chipboard and with our cutting dies now that hasn't been done before. And that feels really, really nice.
Right. When you are the groundbreaking.
Well, and you have a chance to bring to your customers something that they're not finding everywhere. And that's really the challenge of Paper Wishes, because you can get things other places. Well, you can't get our stuff other places, but you can get, other people's things. And so there has to be a reason to come to Paper Wishes instead of elsewhere. And, that's what we work for.
Well, so if I remember correctly, you were the first company that actually came out with a masculine set of papers. Yours were all themed to where you could buy this set to make Father's Day cards. And it was nice to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if we were the first. I haven't tracked
that.
But we did. And that's always a thing that customers want is, what can I do for the men in my life? And in fact, we just released a set of cutting dies called For My Guy. And, that helps to serve that need. So.
Well, yeah, definitely. Because it's hard doing guy cards. I know I have, sons and grandsons, I have probably 100 cards up here for birthdays for girls, for all my granddaughters, but for a guy, well, I'm going through them going, oh, got to make a new one,
I think that's one reason why the wood look is so popular. You can always put that in a collection because there's a need for it, and that works.
And it's cool for so many things. But I want to remind everybody, if you have any questions put them in here and I'll ask Paulette if you have a question for Paulette, because she is here to answer your questions.
Ooh, neat.
But I love that you've been in the industry so long and you stuck with it.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, the deal is I've, as the owner of the company, I can structure it the way that it works best for me. So what you do is you focus on the things that you're better at, and you hire your weaknesses, and that works really, really well. So why would I not want to do this? I mean, it's everything that I like doing.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. Totally. Yeah. I mean, we're just, I think we love the industry so much and love what we do that it's easy. Crafting Icon is a perfect description. That's what we put in our thing. She is an innovator of all the crafting trends before everyone else.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice to be recognized. And like I said, a lot of people may not have known Paulette Jarvey was hot off the press, which became Paper Wishes.
Yes.
Unless you're in the industry, sometimes you don't know those things.
Yeah. And of course, Paper Pizzazz was the name of all the scrapbooking items. And
I still have some.
That's sometimes a connection for people.
Bonnie says, always loved your Paper Wishes paper sets. I think I purchased my first couple paper sets off of HSN or QVC maybe 20 years ago.
Oh, at least. Yeah, HSN I did QVC in London years and years and years ago. So that's, yeah, we did HSN for a nice spell of time.
Yeah, well, and it's nice now that you're able to do everything in-house, right? I mean, because you do videos that you put out with every collection.
We do webisodes. We do about 26 webisodes every month. And yeah, all the graphic designing is done here. Yeah.
When you do a collection, do you reprint it if it's sold out, like if it's sold out quickly, or do you just do one run?
It's one run, and that works well for us. We're like right now we're working on February because we have to work that far out.
Yeah.
So, we work on Christmas about in May, April. So it's kind of like it's always Christmas, either in the real world or in the world that we're designing.
I know.
Yeah.
How about your dies? Do you do a rerun on those or just one and done?
It kind of depends. Mostly I think it's one and done because we buy enough to support the subscriptions that we have, and then also to sell afterwards. But again, you can only get them from us. That's the way that we've structured it. We're not wholesaling anymore. So that's,
I think I know a few companies that have done that, and it has been to their benefit.
Yeah. It's funny. The very first time that I did a catalog that went to consumers, other people in the industry said, "Oh my gosh, aren't you scared to death? What if Michaels finds out?" And I go, Michaels doesn't care. They're doing their own business, and it was an amazing opportunity for us. Yeah. Again, another step, another chance.
See, I love that you were able to just step out of the norm and go with where you thought would be good, and it turned out to be beautiful.
It was a huge thing for us. Yeah, well, scrapbooking was the first huge thing for us, and but then also doing the catalog, and then doing Paper Wishes where we are now. Yeah.
Well, a couple friends of mine and I were putting together a list of categories of current craft trends of if we were doing things, what categories would we want? And we had paper crafting all together, and somebody said, no, you need scrapbooking separately, because while we thought maybe people aren't scrapbooking as much, there are new people that are scrapbooking, and there's definitely card making and journal making, but your paper packs go with all of those.
And that's by design. That really is by design. And we'll do the 12 by 12 patterned, 6 by 6 patterned, 12 by 12 solid colors to coordinate. Then we'll do chipboard, cutting die, and die cuts. So those 6 items go into every collection. So, wow. Can I show you the new thing?
Yes, you definitely can. I'm sure everybody's waiting to see.
Well, in cutting dies, you're limited by what the manufacturer can do so far as the metal. And what we had done with our chipboard, I'm going to show you.
I'm going to make you full screen so they can see better.
Okay, let me see. Okay.
There.
So, okay, so you see the chipboard, and do you see the lines in there?
Yep.
Those are, I don't think anybody else does that, but we worked with our the gal who does this for us, Dominica, and it created, it doesn't go all the way through, but it makes them more detailed and better. And look at the pine cone. See how much detail there is? Well, if you're going to color that with marking pen, it's so much easier to do because you've got the lines there. Well, I asked our cutting die manufacturer, could they do lines in? And I'm hoping I can show you this. Let me see. Okay. So can you see this? Can you see that there are lines? Well, they're cut into the cutting die. They're part of the die. But what that does, it does the same thing as what it did on the chipboard. It gives you more detail, finer detail. And I'm really excited because we're the only ones doing this.
You are, yes.
We're doing them thin cuts, and I'm hoping you can.
You can see it really well right there.
Can you see
all those lines?
Yeah. And so it's much more detailed. So what we're doing, so there'll be a black piece that goes over his face, and then different wings to go on top of your different part, the whole wing and then part of the wing. But they're all cut through. We're calling them thin cuts. And it's just going to, I think, make the cutting dies more elegant, more detailed. And they're ours. And it's neato.
And because you have those little tiny lines, if you put like black behind it, the little black would show through, correct?
You can do that, but also just even with color, well, you can see on this, just even with doing this out of red cardstock, it just makes it better, I think.
Oh, no, I meant like if there was a silhouette, like if you put that on top of black, you would see those little cut lines, right?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So I'm really excited by that because it's just making the end result more refined, better, prettier.
Yeah. Well, I can just see it on snowflakes and, like you said, on the greenery.
Yes.
Perfect, and I do like in your chipboard because that's like they're embossed almost.
Yeah. Instead of being just an outline, just an outline, now it's got more detail, and it's easier for people to do coloring on it. In fact, I have, okay, this is the chipboard. Can you see that flower?
Yes.
That's chipboard. But look at how much detail it has, and it's just colored. But it's because of those lines. So it will do the same thing in the cutting dies as we've done in the chipboard. So it's neato.
And what you're holding up there is stunning.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah. This is from Christmas Floral Plaids, which is one of our 2 new collections. And actually, that cardinal is from the second collection, Christmas Cardinals.
Those are beautiful. I'm going to grab your link while you show a few more things so that I can put it in here for people.
And this, as I get it fixed, this is Delightful Dimensionals. So this is one cutting die that makes the card base. And then, of course, this has got our Christmas cardinals. And these are not glued, they're just slotted, and then they fold flat to go in an envelope. And it just gives your cards, something more. And you can go on the back. Of course, these are our papers that go with the Christmas cardinals. So that's the cutting die and some of the papers. But it's just a different look, because people, if they're card making, they really want to do some different things, but they don't, they want to build their life around it. They just want to do something fun, and that fills the bill. And you can see there's the cardinal again, all finished.
That is so pretty. I mean, I've always found your stuff to be so pretty and so elegant.
Well, and it's a mix between what's charming and what's sweet, what's pretty. Steampunk is done really well. We put off doing anything to do with gnomes, because I kept thinking they were dead, but in like 400 years and they're still alive. So we did gnomes and more gnomes this year, and it's done really, really well. That's fun.
It is funny because they won't die. And I have, Joe Pearson.
Yeah.
So she did a gnome ebook with us.
Okay.
And when she was doing it, I'm like, oh, because it was right after the trend had started. I thought, oh, are we on the downside of it? But nope, it was good. So you never know.
Sometimes, well, and if you get the art that's wonderful, I mean, that's charming or darling or whatever, or pretty, that's an easier base to go. My belief is that pretty will always sell. Charming is great when you get the right art.
Bonnie says, everyone loves a cute gnome.
Yes.
Laura Lee says, I agree, pretty and elegant. I can tell something when something is paper wishes.
Ah, that's nice.
So that is a nice compliment. And Laura Lee also says, I have some paper wishes vellum I got on Whatnot, which is an auction.
Oh.
And she said it must be at least 20 years old, but still gorgeous and hasn't faded a bit.
Yeah, actually, I found a book of vellum last night when I was cleaning out my bedroom. Yeah, that's good.
Well, like I said, I still have a lot of your paper books, and I have a lot of the hot off the press books.
Everything that we make is hot off the press. It's on Paper Wishes, but we buy from about 50 other companies internationally. Most of them are international. And so we're always we bring in about 140 new items every month. So wow. It's not just our stuff. It's a whole broad range of goodies.
Right, on your website that they can buy. And I did put the link in here for everybody to check out your website. And you do have free shipping in the U.S. on some orders over $79.
Right. Oh, and look at the top of the homepage. You'll see about the kittens that we found.
I see that. You told me to ask you about the kittens.
Well, it's just that people have been really responsive to the story. And it starts out sadly, but it ends happily. And we have... in our warehouse, in the front, there's a road, and I found a mother cat that had been killed. She'd been hit by a car, and I knew it was a mother because I could see, where she had been nursing. And that was a Friday. And Monday, at the other end of the warehouse, Christina heard kittens meowing. And I had brought a salmon in a salad. So I chopped up some of the salmon and took it back, thought, okay, well, they've got to be starving because it's been 2 days. And later that day, she was able to pick them up. So we brought them in, and she said, and I'm holding one, we found some food to give them, other food. And she took them home, gave them a bath. I said I'd make an appointment with the vet. So I took them to the vet the next day to find out how old they were, boy or girl. And the vet said, well, are you going to keep them? And I said, well, I don't know. And they said, well, give us names. And I said, I don't have names. I'm not going to name them unless I'm going to keep them. So the next day I kept them, and they're at my house.
How many?
There's two. Misty is gray, and she's a girl, and Shadow's a boy, and he's black.
Oh,
They're tuxedo cats, and they're very sweet. They were 6 weeks old, so they were litter trained. They could eat food. I mean, it was the mommy did a good job on them.
oh.
And Christina, I was so glad that she heard them.
Well, yeah, in a warehouse. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Outside. They were in the back.
You were outside. Oh my goodness.
RV storage place behind us, and that's where they had been born and had been living. So it was. So I'm doing updates now about the kittens.
Okay, so if you go to the website, it does say click here to view the kittens.
Yes.
So I can share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys the kittens. If it's going to let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it says kittens paper wishes. So that's what I'm going to share. So, okay, here's the first one.
Yeah.
See that cute little kitten?
Found them.
Oh, I love the tummy.
My son said, if you hold them next to your skin, like a baby, they'll bond with you. So every night I held each of them at least an hour.
Wow.
For the first time. So that's Shadow.
Oh.
And so they started off, they were in a box in my bathtub. Someone recommended that. But then when I came home one day, I found Shadow was walking on the edge of it. So then they had to go into the bathroom, and I bought him a little, little tower to play on.
Jump around on, yes.
Yep. And then my son got this thing that attaches to the sliding door. This is in my bedroom. And so that's my dog and the two cats. So now they had my bedroom, my closet, my bathroom, and they go nose to nose. And Belle, they want to be with Belle. Belle's my Australian Shepherd, but she pretty much doesn't have anything to do with them. But
she doesn't have time for that.
She's not impressed. She doesn't understand.
Oh.
And so this is in the living room. So now they have the whole house.
They have the whole house. Yeah, they do kind of just take over.
Actually, and for some reason, they love being on my closet, on top of my clothes by the hangers.
That is so strange.
Yes. Also, my clothes are getting really destroyed, but the cats are fine. I am going on a tour of Catopias this weekend, so that's a little dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Very cute. And so you'll just keep updating this page.
I will keep telling stories of the kittens.
That's cute. That's adorable.
So it's been a collaborative effort.
I love it. See, you have a heart.
Actually, it's been really fun getting the comments from the customers. One lady said, "I think it's really neat you did this. Good for you." And she said, "But I just have to say, in all capitals, sucker." That was very good. Yes, I am.
Well, when they're teeny tiny, irresistible.
Well, and really great that they would eat food at that point. And of course, you give them a litter box and cats will go in it. So that's nice. So it was a very easy transition. So I'm taking good care of them.
Rebecca says, of course, kittens have the whole house.
Yep.
Yes, they do. They are adorable. So I see cat and kittens die in stamps in the near future.
The first cat I ever had, I was young. I was I was in school, but every night or every day when I come home from school, Mickey was sitting on the porch waiting for me. So, this goes back a long way.
It does. My husband has a cat, and she's more like a dog because we walk in town, and she She's older now, but when she would follow us. We'd go 3 miles and she'd be walking with us.
Yeah.
So yes. And she looks a lot like your black one.
I like to remember when my husband and I were first married. When he came back from Vietnam, we were sent to North Carolina, where, of course, we knew no one. And at one point I said, I'm really kind of bored. I either need a cat or a baby. And the cat's name was Sugar.
Funny how that happens. Laura Lee says, laugh out loud, Anne. My husband has a cat. You're too much. Seriously, Laura Lee. I had a cat when I was younger, and we've had cats. But all the kids were out of the house, and I said, no, I want no pets. And he's like, well, somebody wants, they have these cats. And I said, no, I don't want a cat. And I was gone in Boston. It was when I was working with Velcro and I went to their corporate office. I was gone for like 5 days. And I come home and here's a kitten. And yes, it is my husband's kitten.
It just happened.
He feeds it. He does everything for that cat. The amazing thing is, if we're in the living room, she only wants to sit with me.
See, isn't she smart? She's already got him on her side. Why not get you on her side?
It drives him crazy because he'll pick her up and hold her, and she just squirms to get away, and she comes and lays with me. And I said, it's because I don't bother her. I let her just sit. I mean, I'll pet her, but I don't sit and pull on her and, try to make her sit with me.
Very good.
Even she does go outside with us. She sits on the porch all the time. Even last night, we're sitting at the high table and she's jumping up behind me and sitting behind me in the chair. But she is my husband's cat, Larly. I promise you that. Because I've never had to do anything for her. Not that I won't. I mean, I will, but
very
not
good.
My job. But they are cute. That is a cute story. I love that.
Yes.
Well, and it's nice that you share that with, everybody can see that so they can see a different side of you.
Yeah. Well, and it's something that's connected to the company. I mean, if Christina hadn't heard them, it wouldn't have happened. So that's
right.
Nice.
Right.
Plus she bathed them and got all the fleas off of them, which was great.
That does help. Because cats don't like to be bathed.
No, I couldn't imagine.
As a rule, they don't like to be bathed. I want to remind everybody to like, comment, and share this video with the hashtag Bella Crafts to be entered for the giveaway that we will announce next week. And we'll announce 2 next week because Lisa did not give me the name of last time's winner. So
it's a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. Dorothy, I like cats, but unfortunately I'm allergic to them. Yeah.
That's sad. Well, I'll take care of them for you.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I have 2 sons that are allergic to cats too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. They're nice and fluffy and quiet, and you can leave. You can go away for the weekend and not be so concerned. Whereas with a dog, you have to have somebody come and check or put them with a vet or yeah. So, well, do you have anything else you want to share?
No, the brand new thin cuts was my big deal.
They're beautiful. And I want you all to know that Paulette is actually coming back on September 10th, I think we decided.
So
let me look. September 10th. And she's going to do a project with some of her beautiful products. So that will be at 2:00 Central Time. So you want to make sure you come back for that. And I just want to thank Paulette for coming and sharing a little bit with everybody. And thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, I didn't see a lot of them, but if you have some, I'll make sure I highlight them and we'll catch them when she's back in 2 weeks.
Great. My pleasure. Thank you.
And we always say, take some time to craft because it's good for your soul.
It is.
So we will see you all pajama party tonight, 9 p.m. So make sure you join us if you're able to. Wait, Paulette, I'm so glad to see people like you who find a way to make it despite tariffs and economy. We appreciate it. Yes, we try everything. We will see you guys tonight and next week.